could get past, it might be a different story up the road for the race lead, but if they could work together in turn, they might be able to do something about catching up. They're in and amongst the back markers though now as well. They've got the slower cars to negotiate, including Eddie Benton, who's now into his late 60s, 68 years of age. Eddie Benton, another stalwart racer, former grass tracker turned circuit racer, and has been racing in this series for many, many years. Right, Tony Hutchings, the leader, comes out of Camp Corner. There's Mark Wyatt in third place, still trying to work out how to get past the Mini, and now this might be his chance. He gets the power down. Is there a gap on the inside? Yes, there is, going up towards Folly, but can he get the Astra up the inside of the Mini? He's going to have a good go at this as they turn their way to the corner. Yes, he's gone by, so Mark Wyatt has done it up into second place, and straight away starts to gap the Mini behind him.
Yeah, but we've seen earlier he has been making quite a few mistakes. So if the Mini driver just keeps on going as he's doing and just keeps it consistent, let's look at the steering on this Astra there. Lots of steering, not so much then actually, but number 26 in the orange Mini, if he keeps it consistent, I think we're going to see a bit of a tussle between these.
Now Mark Wyatt has got to try and make up now 3.9 seconds to the race leader. Is it doable in 6.5 minutes? I think it possibly is, if, as Charlie points out, he can stop making little mistakes. And that's Guy Parr getting himself in all sorts of dramas at Quarry. Wallop. Not a hard hit, but hard enough.
Yeah, I think he'll get away with that. He's just starting the car up. You can see him looking down at the control panel there, just getting the car started up again. So we've got a Seat on the inside of a Rover. Seat just passing up the inside there. So another little nice move further back down the field. So great racing from this massive mix of car manufacturers out there. I'm sure he'll continue with that. That's too much, not too much damage at all. But a shame, as we're going to see him later in the Nemesis in the other class.
Guy Parr back into the race. I think that's known as being below par, isn't it? Anyway, he's got going again after his moment into the tyres, and this is a replay.
Way too quick. Yeah, you can actually just see his speed in comparison to the other cars on the replay shot there. Just went in way too fast, a little bit too excitable, and both of his cars are number 13 as well, so lucky for some, or maybe unlucky for some.
On that evidence, yes, you're right about the second part of that. Tony Hutchings leading the way now. This gap is up to 4 seconds. Mark Wyatt chasing after him, but he's not really being able to do what he needs to do to get onto terms with the race leader. Last time around, the Audi lapped quicker. In terms of their best laps, though, the Audi still remains the quicker of the two cars, so Mark Wyatt still pushing on as best he can. Now, Tony Hutchings, of course, is about to encounter traffic, and this could be a very different story, couldn't it?
Yeah, as we said, comes in only a 1/10 of a second off the Audi, so if this continues, we could start to see, for the next 4 minutes, a closing battle start.
Will Claudio you're riding with, who is still leading his class from Carlton Williams. Russell Akers, who we've seen in the course of the race with the green Astra, is a class leader as well. And there's a very slow car there. That was Rodney Appley's Peugeot 106.
So on board here, you can see the Peugeot trying to get the power down there as we see the external shot back on the inside again. Just teetering around for grip and this fast-flowing Castle Combe circuit. Coming down now, hammer down, and then braking for Tower Bend. Got slightly squeaky brakes, but that's not out of the ordinary for a race car. Turning in a couple of times, getting the back just coming out, so really is balancing the throttle. And as he puts the throttle down, you can just see the car wash out to the exit with how much power that car's got, as then he enters Bobby chicane, kissing those tyre barriers as close as you dare without damaging your car, and then powering out on the exit. So great onboard footage here, and gives you a really good driver's eye view here at this very slippery Castle Combe circuit.
So Will Claudio, 4th, coming up to the end of the lap, leading his class. We were thinking maybe on a wet road he might be a potential winner outright. Well, forget that now. The pace just is not there, but a class win is what he's after, and the points for that.
You see there our onboard camera there shaking his head. He really isn't happy with how that car's handling, so not happy at all on our onboard car there. So be interesting to see if the next race can be sorted out with his setup there, but struggling for grip, definitely.
Yeah, the other question is what weather conditions we're going to have for the second round of races. It's been fairly changeable this afternoon. It's getting better again, as Tony Hutchings then works now lap number 8, and he's managed to build up the gap again, 4 seconds over Mark Wyatt. Traffic sometimes helps the leader, sometimes it helps the second place man, and Tony Hutchings then turning his way through the right-hander of Tower. There is Mark Wyatt, who really is pushing on as best he can, but hunting for grip. Good battle here. Russell Akers just ahead of Bob Ballard in the Seat, and the Astra hanging on to the place as they come through the S's. This is for 5th and 6th places. Russell Akers is a class leader, so although it's good that he's battling like this, and it's an exciting race for him, he doesn't want to get caught up in a squabble that takes him out of the race or costs him the chance of winning his class and gaining the point. So he wants to keep ahead of Bob Ballard if he can, but he could afford to let him go and still secure the points in his class. And that's Lloyd Allard's Golf that's come into the pit lane. We saw it going on the grass earlier. You can see the frontal damage, and that may now be a retirement from that car.
Yeah, you never know with front-end damage like that. The temperature in the car could have risen as it's just popped off one of the pipes and keeps the car obviously overheating there, so he's just coming from a safety point of view.
And Russell Akers slithering out onto the dirt, powering his way now towards the completion of the lap. He's on his 8th lap at the moment, as Tony Hutchings there is on lap number 9. And it's looking good, isn't it, for the Audi here, using all of the road up onto the curb and the grass creek on the outside of the road. Got lots and lots of back markers behind him, which includes in and amongst them Kelly Williams in the blue Ford Fiesta, the lady racer, member of the British Women's Racing Drivers Club. Tony Hutchings, though, there, working his way now through Old Paddock, and he's worked out where all the slippery parts are. He knows where all the grip is by now, and relatively speaking, it's been easy for him because he's not had to defend from anybody too stressfully since really the first lap of the race, so he can concentrate on his own race, his own lines, and this is the ideal situation to be in.
Yeah, it is, and it actually looks like he's been off because he's got no lower part of the front bumper, but I think that's pretty much designed to keep the car as cool as possible. You can see those blue and red pipes there of the cooling ducts on the front of that Audi, but a very dominant race, and he did put in a very quick lap time, 1:31.5, very early on lap 2. So, and there's a bit of a late charge from the Mini as well, car number 26, who's 3rd at the moment, late charge on lap times.
So Tony Hutchings makes his way down towards Camp Corner, and the man with the checkered flag is ready for him. So as he comes through now, it looks as though it's going to be a victory for Tony Hutchings. He was 3rd last time out. He's going to win in the damp conditions here. Comes across the line, the checkered flags are waved, and Tony Hutchings is the winner of the first Castle Combe Saloon Car Championship race of the day, with Mark Wyatt 2nd, never being able to bring that gap to less than 4 seconds. He comes through behind him. Mark Fennell finishing 3rd in the Mini, and Will Claudio does take 4th, and of course will take the points for winning his class. So he's working his way through the traffic, and as he comes down towards Camp, I say he's going to take the points for winning his class. He's going to keep out of trouble for one more corner there, because right with him you can see, whoops, yes, as he gets up towards the line, is David Challenger's Seat, drops it down a gear. What was all that about, he says, as he looks across?
Yeah, I think this guy's a very unhappy chap at the moment. He's pretty cross with himself or with the handling of his car, and the last thing you want is a little knock, literally metres away from the end of that race, without considering those conditions, and a bit of a wave there to his to the marshals and the fans. So nice bit of spirit there.
And he stays ahead of Carlton Williams and King for 2nd and 3rd in the class. The man that was 2nd in that class in the championship, Martin Chivers, ends up only 4th in class, so that's going to help Will Claudio to increase his championship advantage. Tony Hutchings is now very much into the picture, banging his fist on the roof of the car, so sort of in a rather aggressive way, celebrating with the car, congratulating it for doing him sterling service. Mark Wyatt there as close now as he's ever been, really, on the slowing down lap, having battled his way up into 2nd place, but I think he just lost too much time early on. Yeah,
he made a couple of mistakes there when he was battling with the orange Mini of Funnel, and then just let the 33 car, the Audi race winner Hutchins, just pull away.
So Tony Hutchings takes the race win, and Mark Wyatt comes home 2nd, Audi ahead of Vauxhall. 3rd is Mark Fennell's Mini. Will Claudio is 4th and a class winner in his Peugeot. Bob Ballard 5th in the Seat, and Russell Akers, another class winner, comes home to round out the top 6 at the end of the first of 2 Castle Combe Saloon Car Championship races here this afternoon. So Tony Hutchings, as I say, at this equivalent meeting a year ago, had a very damaged car, and now he can celebrate a race win. Field making its way down the pit lane. Again, a shot like that just goes to show the variety we've been talking about. MGs, Audis, Vauxhalls, new shape Minis, and the series that broke the trend in a sense, because when one circuit championship started many years ago, they were really for Formula Ford cars because there were so many of them. But Howard Strawford and his team at Castle Combe thought, well, if it works for single seaters, why not do something for saloon car racing. And it was at a time when road saloon racing was hugely popular in the UK. And Howard thought, right, well, if they'll travel in such numbers around the country, maybe we might get a decent grid of them every time here at one circuit. And that's exactly where the idea came from. And although these are more modified than road saloons ever were, the concept has remained the same, that the championship caters for drivers that don't want to go the length and breadth of the country. They want to do some competitive racing at effectively one venue that's local to them and keep down their travelling costs. And perversely, you get drivers that travel quite a long way to come and race at Castle Combe now because they like the championship and they like the atmosphere and they like the way things are run. But it has been a very, very successful series for many, many years. There was a time when people used to dominate the championship travelling all the way from Scotland. So that showed the popularity of this series and the freedom of the regulations. As I say, the cars are modified, but not outlandishly so. So they are fast, they're competitive, but they don't break the bank to go racing. There's Tony Hutchings getting out of the car. Looks very, very happy about this win. You can tell there's a grin under the crash helmet.
Yeah, the way he was banging the roof of his car, he really is very, very pleased with this win in these treacherous conditions. And it just goes to show the championship's really well set up, because all of the lap times throughout the whole grid with a wide variety of different manufacturers just goes to show it's a well set up championship.
That was brilliant, he says. Well, no argument about that. He's very, very happy, and it was a good race, and still they're pouring down the pit lane, look. So Tony Hutchings, in the end, winning the race by 4 seconds from Mark Wyatt and Mark Fennell coming home in 3rd spot. But wonderful entertainment always provided by these cars. As we keep making the point, there's so much variety in such a big grid. There's always something to look for, always something happening. And we've got another instalment of the Castle Combe Saloon Car Championship to look forward to a little bit later on in the day. So Tony Hutchings, a very happy race winner, and there to talk to him is Jenny.
Yes, Tony, you look ecstatic after that win.
I am. It was brilliant. It was so slippery. Somebody spilled oil and on about the 3rd lap, and it was just a case of trying to miss the oil. It was so slippery, but the car drove brilliant. Everybody's been working on it in the last week, so it's, yes, brilliant. Really good result.
Have to say, a yellow Audi going around this track at Castle Combe is quite a striking sight.
Yeah, it is, and at least it's gone round and finished this time. Last Motors TV meeting, we had a bit of a crash, so yeah, it's nice to finish.
Do you know what? It's nice not to get blamed for once for being the jinx. I get jinxed about weather, I get jinxed about crashes. It's lovely to see you having made it to the podium to win. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, we'll let you celebrate, and I'll just bring in another one of the drivers, the fantastic Kelly Williams, one of the BWRC drivers. Fantastic to see one of the ladies out there doing it for the girls.
Yeah, excellent.
And driving conditions today, not particularly easy, are they?
No, not particularly, but it's good fun out there. It's good fun.
And just how hard is it for people at home, maybe sitting there on the sofa thinking, you know what, I fancy giving the boys a bit of a battle. How easy is it to get into motor racing?
Join the BWRDC, they'll take you out and about and they'll give you everything you need to do and learn.
I have to say, I've had dealings with them. They are a fantastic organisation for anyone wanting to try and get in, who obviously is female.
Yep, definitely. Join them and they'll take you through everything.
All right, I'll let you go, Kelly. Thank you very much. Well done to Kelly. Well done to our celebrating Tony Hutchings as well. As you can see, he's rather excited. Lots of messages keep on coming in as well on Twitter, so keep them coming in. Christian Rose says, hope Dean is okay. Helped out for him a few rounds last season. Looked a bit nasty. That was in the other race. And also a shout out please for Alex, Tom, Jack, Ollie, Alex and myself. We cycled here today for charity through the mud and rain. That's from Erin CTFC. Lots of people making it here today in difficult conditions, but the sun, guys, is actually shining.
And it's shining as the cars head to the grid for the special GT race that is going to be next, the Castle Combe Vadabar Sports and GT Championship, which